Hi guys, this is Sam. Welcome back. Today we'll talk about what are the roles that are possible for a materials management or production planning or a supply chain or a customer service professional in the SAP world. So all of these fall under what we call as LE or logistics execution. So it has got to deal with supply chain management, and supply chain generically is movement of material from point of origin to point of consumption. A point of origin might be a mining company if it's a metal or if it's a silicon chip, and the point of consumption might be when you go through the process of refining it, converting into a kind of a usable alloy or a metal or a silicon wafer, and then running it through a foundry, running it through a chip designing process, and then the chip is finally put into a computer or a microprocessor is put into a iPhone or Android, and then it is sent to the actual consumer, who could be yourself, your relative, your dependents, your son, daughter, or whoever you want to gift it to. So the supply chain would be movement of material from point of origin to point of consumption, and everything involves in the middle process of it, including storage, including material movement, including production planning, whether you're doing a finishing product, finished goods, or you're doing a semi-finished goods, or you're doing a raw material, and then finally transport management and fulfillment till what we call it the last mile delivery to the end consumer, as well as the return process of that material. So this entire chain of supply is known as supplier relationship management, or SRM. And then the procurement has tools as well, such as SRM for SAP and Ariba, which is the new tool that SAP just bought. It's not really new, but it's been a few years since SAP bought Ariba, and that's been used for procurement. So let's talk about what roles a supply chain professional, uh, depending on where you are currently, whether you are in a warehouse, whether you are in a production planning process, whether you're in a retail store, whether you are in a quality assurance process, whether you are in a process manufacturing process, or if you are in a customer service process, or if you would be in a generic inventory management process, then what roles you can expect in the SAP world. So, uh, the first role that you can expect is that of a supply chain analyst, and a supply chain analyst just does process documentation, process reengineering. And if you are a SAP consultant, then that analysis becomes what we call as configuration or system setting inside the SAP. So in SAP, you can actually become SAP supply chain consultant. So supply chain consultant is a broad name, but you could get into modules and some modules. For example, materials management consultant, warehouse management consultant, EWM, extended warehouse maintenance consultant, extended warehouse management consultant, transport management consultant, logistics execution consultant, or you could be a customer service or a plant maintenance consultant. All of these forms under logistics. So as an analyst, you will document the process, you will document the organization structure, you'll document what we call as partners and the process flows. But as a consultant, you will go and configure the three things, which is enterprise structure, master data, transactional data, and then the integration of all these supply chain areas together. And then you would be called as a supply chain consultant. But if I dive deeper into it, you could be number one, a materials management consultant, number two, production planning consultant, quality assurance consultant, project systems consultant. You could be a logistics execution consultant or EWM consultant, extended warehouse management consultant, or you could also be a customer service or plant maintenance consultant, right? You can also specialize in the quality assurance process, and the quality assurance process differs from company to company. Now, as long as you're coming from the functional background, which has the background of the consulting industry in the sense of the process domain. So if you are in the pharmaceutical industry, you will do process, which we call as recipes. Recipes has got potencies, just like how powerful a chili is, mild, medium, and hot, then that's called the potency. So medicines or pharmaceuticals work in potencies. They also have Food and Drug Administration regulation, which is DQ, document qualification, IQ, installation qualification, and production qualification, DQ, IQ, OQ, and operational qualification and production qualification. So we have DQ, IQ, OQ, and PQ for pharmaceutical for FDA compliance. So anything that goes into the pharma has to adhere to the FDA compliance. You also have clinical research or the molecule research part of it, and then you have LIMS, which is Laboratory Information Management System, uh, as part of the pharmaceutical quality assurance process. So again, that within the supply chain or logistics, you will have industry solutions. So pharma is, I'm just giving you one. If you're in the hospital, it'll be another one. If you're in the airlines, we call it as designated authority, which does the quality assurance of the process, and you've got to keep the plane data for the next 100 years. And the project systems is used as part of the automotive or the airline, configuration area, and then the tail number becomes the project number, right? Is the project number, and it's to be monitored for the 100 years. Similarly, for automobile, you might have a automotive recall, and we follow what we call as PLM, product lifecycle management, for all of these areas. Product lifecycle management is right from idea, innovation, concept check, which is test marketing, then so right from ideation to development of product, test marketing the product, launching the product, and then ultimately managing the product through its entire iterations till it matures, go through a maturity phase, and ultimately conclusion or end of the life cycle of the product. So entire data is managed in the product life cycle management. Now, product lifecycle management is another area within the supply chain module itself. So again, you will have materials management, you would have production planning, you would have warehouse management, extended warehouse management, procurement, which is Ariba or supplier relationship management. You will have quality assurance management. You will have product lifecycle management, and also in the PP, you will have both discrete manufacturing, which is like two components like coming together, just like these two work together. Those are discrete products, or a recipe management, which is in uh, liquids, and this could be paint, this could be food and drug administration, or pharmaceutical, or it could be anywhere you make an alloy. So the difference between recipes and a discrete manufacturing is recipe, the product or the material changes its properties, and in most cases cannot be converted back to its original form or shape. For example, if you make a paint, then you cannot convert it back to different components of that paint. And or if you make a medicine like injectable injection, then you cannot convert it back to its original form or shape. So both recipe management and discrete management are part of the supply chain. So as a supply chain consultant, you might want to specialize in any of the areas I just mentioned, and you would be going out and documenting the process flow. You'll be documenting the organization structure, which is plants, storage locations, delivery locations, or pickup locations, planning route, or the enterprise structure, which is sales and distribution, also is part of the logistics. So just to give that clarity, as part of the supply chain, sales and distribution also falls under this. You can become a consultant in the main module of supply chain. You can become a consultant in one of the sub modules, as I just mentioned: MMPP, QMPS, plant maintenance, customer service, quality assurance, any of those modules, or even procurement or e-procurement. You become specialized in those areas, and then you can kind of go out and not just document the enterprise structure or organization structure, the document types, and the process flow. You can also go out and configure the system aspect of it, right? So you would document it, what we call it the blueprinting, and then we go out and configure this in the SAP system. And now we have the graphical type based system, which is called the Fury extensions or SAP HANA on the cloud, both public and private cloud. You could also become an integration architect in the supply chain area. And integration architect deals with all those areas from point of origin to point of consumption. This could be procurement, it could be e-procurement, it could be materials management, storage, quality assurance, return material, manufacturing, project systems, quality assurance, customer service, plant maintenance, even sales and distribution. So, if as an integration architect, you'll cover all of these, as well as integration with the financial area and the human resource area. So that would be, in summary, different roles available to you, and it's a huge variety of roles. So if you're working in warehouse, you're working in production planning, you're working in quality assurance, you're working in plant, you're working in operations support, what we call as maintenance, repair, and operations, then you would be a good fit to get into the SAP world. And you can pick a main module, you can pick a sub module, and you can pick an industry solution. So once you do that, guys, you specialize both in the module, sub-module, and the industry solutions, then you are up there in terms of getting into the SAP world and making a good career for yourself and for your family, right? And it's a long-term career. Supply chain is evergreen. Companies like Amazon, companies like NVIDIA are doing great, and they are very heavily dependent on supply chain. And with artificial intelligence coming up and what we call as blockchain technology evolving, including crypto technology, supply chain is one of the most sought after areas, and it's going to be an evergreen area. It might get automated through industrial automation or what we call as industrial IoT, but it will always remain in demand. And again, the starting salary is 80,000, and you can scale up to 250,000 quickly, becoming an integration architect or a project management or a professional or a delivery director, or specialize as a module and an industry vertical specialist. So I hope you like the roles that I described for a supply chain professional in the SAP world. If you do like this knowledge, please do like and subscribe this channel. And I hope I'm going to give you more and more knowledge on different areas of SAP, because my background is enterprise architect, project management professional, and scrum master. I've been in the business areas of supply chain logistics as well as financial and HR. So I'm more of an enterprise architect. So I will keep making these knowledge articles for you. I'll also use sometimes a whiteboard or a flip chart just to explain the concepts. And hope you like and subscribe to this channel. And this is Sam Mall signing off for SAP Careers and Job Seekers Group. Thank you, guys.